Welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views, Ireland's first live web TV current affairs programme with over 1.8 million viewers in 214 countries, and we're on a web TV site near you. My name is Áine Duffy and we bring the programme to you weekly on Fridays 7 to 8 Greenwich Mean Time. Each week we take a look at what is going on in the county and invite guests to chat live in the studio. If you have an event you want us to know about or an issue you'd like discussed, well, please email us at drumlinmedia@gmail.com. So, anything interesting going on, please do let us know. Yes, folks, it's official. The Stripes play Slaying this year. Absolutely brilliant news for the young Cavan band. Now, if you want to see them, go along to Slane on the 6th of May to be part of history. It's on the 30th of June. They are supporting the American band, the Foo Fighters. Okay, last week, Cavan said no to water charges. They had an epic meeting in the Meadowview Inn in Cavan, and as you know, it was streamed live by Cavan TV. Emmett Smith and John Walsh and Martina Keoghan were the organisers. They were very pleased. MEP Ming Luke Flanagan was there, as was Paul Murphy, the Socialist TD, Dr. Conor McCabe, an economist, and Bernie Hughes, the campaigner who had been in prison for a month, chaired the meeting. And as you know, Cavan TV streamed it live. And as you know, the next day, a massive demonstration the next day in Dublin city centre. Reportedly 80,000 people took to the city centre to say no to water charges. The demonstration is not only about the proposed water charges, but about the fact that the people have had enough austerity levied on them. Will Taoiseach Enda Kenny listen to us? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And indeed, Fine Gael should know by now that if they don't listen, it will cost them the election perhaps next year. And this week as well, residents in the Glenlara estate in Cavan Town, they blocked the Irish Water Company for going in, peacefully I should say, from going in and installing the meters. So keep an eye on that. Okay, what else has been going on this week? We are glad to say good news for the Clare Island Moneybog turf cutters, as they have secured 13 acres of bog in recompense for the bog that they're not allowed to use. I spoke to Sean Riley today, and they are in negotiations with that, and they seem quite happy with that. Cavan Drama Festival is in full swing, and Sunday night is the final night. Some excellent drama during the week, and local interest is the Cornmill Theatre Group. They put on The Dead School by Pat McGabe, and we will just have to wait and see on Sunday night the final results. And the adjudicator this year is Cavan's own Padraig McIntyre. What's happening locally this week? We go to some local town news, and Ballina has launched this year's Croagh-Patrick Cycle and Climb. The event just gets bigger and better every year. It's on Saturday the 27th of June. It's a cycle and a climb, and it's sponsored by Breffni Air. Now, to take part, the cyclists must pay €100 and climbers pay €50, and it's all done on the one day. Now, congratulations to Cavan Town man, that's Declan Brady. His dog, a Great Dane called Sack, competed and came first in his postgraduate class. That was in Crufts, and as you know, Crufts is the biggest dog show in the world. And the overall winner this year was a Scottish Terrier. Now, unfortunately, this year there was sabotage Sabotage was the name of the game, and as you may have heard in the media, a beautiful Irish red setter from Belgium who won his class was allegedly poisoned. So there's some unwanted publicity there for Crufts. Now, Cavan Older People's Forum have opened a drop-in centre in the Johnson Central Library. It's open on Monday mornings and it starts at 11:30. Everyone is welcome to drop in for a chat, and each Monday morning for the next 6 weeks there will be talks given by different groups, and all these talks and information groups are aimed at making life easier for the older person. The Cavan Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is having a walk a mile in barefoot on Easter Monday. That's April the 6th. It starts at the advanced pit stop at 3 o'clock. You can call into their charity in Ash Street to get more information and a sponsorship card. Please, please, please do support, because they do totally rely on public funds. It's a great cause. Please do support. In O'Hara's Bar tonight in Arva, there is a song and story night, and that's to raise funds for Temple Street Children's Hospital. Everybody is welcome. Next Tuesday night will be the last night you get to see Off the Hook, and that's a drama by the Slieve Gad Drama Group, and it's in the Town Hall, and that starts at 8:30. 3 weeks ago, we told you of the rescue of a 6-year-old boy from the river in the Con Smith Memorial Park. That brought to light the issue of exactly how dangerous the river is going through the park, and now there is an investigation into it. As we say once again, please do be careful if you're walking in the park with children. Do take care. Now, what little girl has never dreamt of being the Rose of Tralee? Friday the 1st of May in the Kilmore Hotel will be the Cavan selection. For information there, and you still have a chance to apply, if you're female of course, ring Angela or Kathleen on 087 811 5391. Current Fame news. Congratulations to Michael McGibney, who's this year's Ulster champion in scores recitation. Michael goes through to the All-Ireland final in April the 25th, and we wish him all the best. I read that one, move on. Last week saw the funeral of Black John Maughan. He was a very well-known member of the travelling community. He was brought to Cully Cemetery in a spectacular horse-drawn carriage. Hundreds from the travelled and the settled community turned up to pay their respects to this very well-known travelling man. Cavan Hill workers gather outside the Orchard Bar in Drummondley on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. Pooling of cars will be arranged, and all you need is good walking boots and a packed lunch. Today is Daffodil Day, and hope you support it, as all its support goes to cancer care nationally. Now, if you haven't done it, you still have time to do it. Okay, so my first little clip tonight is a video clip. Now, as you know, this day last week, we were all out at about 9:30 last Friday morning having a look at the eclipse. And if you didn't get to see it physically or actually up in the sky, you would have seen it through many videos, and great stuff. It was live stream all over the world. Now, Brian was in Coothill, our cameraman here, Brian was in Coothill, and he went along to the comprehensive school in Coothill, and they actually got to film it. Have a look at this.
We're here at St Aidan's Comprehensive School with a group of first-year students to view the partial solar eclipse. There's great excitement among the first-year students as part of their geography curriculum. The students have been researching the solar eclipse as part of the astronomy programme in geography.
And welcome back. You're watching Cavan TV's News and Views. Well, how about walking 50 miles, or is it kilometres? We'll get that straight, in less than 20 hours. That's a challenge that Roosevelt threw out to his army many years ago. Now, with me in the studio, I have a group of people from Moyle, and they're here to tell us all about the JFK. Is it a challenge, folks, or a memorial?
Challenge.
It's a challenge, and tell me all about it. With me, I have got Eamon Fitzsimons, I've got Noel Connell and Joan O'Growney in the studio. Thanks very much, folks, for coming in this evening. You're going to tell us all about this fantastic 50, is it kilometres or miles?
It's 50 miles.
50 miles challenge, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me the whole history.
So basically the history behind the 50-mile challenge is back in 1963, in the spring of 1963, President JFK, John F. Fitzgerald Kennedy.
That's where it gets its name from, JFK.
That's right, yeah.
Challenge, okay.
He set the challenge to his military officers, and it eventually flowed out into the general public. Now, where he got the idea from was from Teddy Roosevelt. At the start of the 20th century, Teddy Roosevelt set this challenge to all his military officers to maintain their commission. What they had to do was cover 50 miles on foot within 20 hours to maintain their commission, because he thought they were getting a bit too burly. And basically what happened was Kennedy thought that the public needed this at the time in the 60s in America, and it started into the JFK challenge in the spring of 1963. So from 1963 onwards, it happened in Washington State. But what happened in winter of 1963, Kennedy got assassinated. So it kind of fell to the wayside then. And the only other place in all of the world that has it at the minute as the memorial is Washington State. Since that year, since 1963 onwards, it's known as the John F. Kennedy Memorial. 50-mile walk.
Challenge here.
Yeah, we use the challenge. Up until there's only us and the other place in Europe that has it as a challenge is the Netherlands. And the only other year it hasn't been held in the Netherlands is in 2001 due to the foot-and-mouth outbreak. And the only other place in Ireland that has it apart from us is Sneem. Okay. They have the 50-mile challenge. And along with Moyle now,
okay.
Moyle has the 50-mile challenge.
Okay, so you've been doing this, Joan, since 2012. You did your first one.
We did it on
big organisation. just literally tell us all about it. It is a walk. It's a challenge of a walk, and you have to do it within, well, in and around 20 hours.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, big organisation of a walk.
There is a lot of organising, but it's a great day. You don't have to be super fit. You can be.
Tell the folks out there,
you know,
exactly.
well, some people do a lot of training. Some people just want to do a challenge.
Really,
well, it is if you want to do 50 miles. It definitely is. You know,
and do it comfortably as well. It's best to have
yes, with no blisters. So you will have blisters, you know. And but it's just such fun, and it's just to camaraderie with everybody, and you know what I mean. It's just on the day, I suppose, you just get a little bit of energy from somewhere. And there's a bond. There's everybody is wishing you well, and it's, you know, it's just good fun.
And you are doing this, folks, to raise money for Cavan Meath and Westmeath cancer. Isn't that what it's made of?
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
For the cancer. For the Irish Cancer Society. And Daffodil Day be the day that's been in it today as well. And folks, if you're out there and you haven't bought your daffodil, you still have time to do it. So do give money to the Irish Cancer Society. Noel, you want to raise as much money, and all the monies that you want to raise, it is going towards that. So how actually do you raise the money on the day?
Well, everybody they get sponsorship to do the walk, and there is a minimum of €50 per head.
So anybody entering, and we'll tell them in a minute how you're going to enter, and get your entries in now, and you get a pack. We'll go through all of that. So a minimum of €50 at least. Of course, you want them to raise more, but at least €50 is the thing.
Yeah, well, very seldom actually people only come in with €50. Some people comes in with €1,000. Some people comes in with €2,000. You know, it's according to how much cancer has affected that family. If, you know, it's really deep down, if cancer has hit your family and you go around and you talk to people and you explain all this, people will pay the money out there for the challenge.
Well, as you know, there isn't a family in Ireland that hasn't been affected by
Like in 2012, we raised 47,000. In 2013, we raised 60,000.
That's fantastic.
And in 2014, 63,000.
So you're doing better all the time. So realistically, what are you aiming for this year?
Well, a little more than last year.
Well,
You want to up your record.
We're hoping for 1,000 walkers this year. We're hoping for at least 1,000 walkers this year, and we can accommodate up to 1,000 walkers with refreshments on the whole way around on the 50-mile route. We can have at least 1,000. We can accommodate at least 1,000 walkers. Okay,
so now just tell me about that. I know you've sent us in you've emailed in some stuff. We might be able to get the route up on the screen shortly. We've got some pictures of it. You've got fantastic pictures. You've got pictures, and you've got a short video of it as well, and we get to know exactly what it's like. The walk itself, is it on flat ground? And the interesting thing about the houses, you know, make people opening their homes for the day and welcoming people into the homes for a cup of tea or to take a toilet break.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we have 5 official stops where we feed everybody with sandwiches and soup, and you know, you don't actually need to bring any lunch with you at all. And Ballygowan have very kindly sponsored us our water this year. And then all the local shops sponsor all our food. We don't buy any food. It's everything we have is sponsored. So any money we raise goes straight back into the Cancer Society.
The money you make goes straight
back into it. So everything we have is beg, borrow or steal. We feed everybody, but we don't actually, you know, it's all donated. Everything is donated. People donate sandwiches, everything. And it's all the goodwill of all the people in the parish that makes the sandwiches on the day. And then, apart from our 5 official stops, almost, I'd say, every third house in the parish opens their doors and you can go in and use their toilet, take a drink of water, sit down, plaster, whatever, you know. The Civil Defence is with us all day as well, and they follow us the whole 50 miles.
Yeah, tell us a bit about the trip itself, the safety and the fitness levels. I know you'd be big into that, Éamon. Like, people don't have to do all of the walk, they can do sections of the walk.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You can show up in the morning. Well, you have to register beforehand to get your pack in the post, to get your sponsorship, to get the €50.
That's the important point out there. So anybody looking out there, you just can't turn up on the day and do it. It's all organised.
Yeah, 50milechallenge.com. You get all the information you want on 50milechallenge.com. But you show up in the morning. It's a 6 a.m. start from the community centre in Moyla, which is just outside Old Castle in County Meath. You show up, you give in your sponsorship, and you'll see some of the nicest sights and scenery in all of Meath, Westmeath and Cavan.
Tell us the Megalithic tomb. I can't.
Yeah, sure. Well, you have Lacrew. The first point you're coming over is actually one of the highest points. It is the highest point in County Meath. It's Lacrew megalithic tombs. It's been carbon dated and is actually older than Newgrange, so it is. And and the art in it is nicer than Newgrange, if you ask me as well. But
you would say that, but up there, wouldn't
well,
you?
it's true. Newgrange is in Meath as well, you see. But it's true because not just it's in the local area, but it's a challenge even getting up the first hill. It's about 4 mile into it, so it's nice and early is the first hill, and that's the highest point. That's probably the most challenging part of the route that people want to do, and it's nice and early in the route, you know. From there, you travel all into the town of Oldcastle, and that's a milestone at 7 mile, around 7 or 8 mile mark. And you have a major stop there, so you have your sambos, your tea and your coffee, and kind of a breakfast stop if you want to call it that. And from there you travel out the Millbrook Road, heading for the village of Dramone, and from Dramone then you go on past the Norman Castles in Moyla, on down to Mullaghmeen Forest.
So you certainly won't be bored.
No, you have all these views on there. And from Mullaghmeen, I'll let Noel jump in there.
Yeah, well, you head actually down into the Cavan area from Dramone, down by Casey Brown's shopping centre there, or Huzzy shopping centre, it's a crash now. And back down into the Cavan area then, which brings around by Sheila Nursing Home and into Mullaghmeen then, which you're talking about 700 acres of woodland there. St Bridget's the Hay Club does a lot of training, and they're always running around there. And you leave Mullaghmeen then, and you're hitting on next 4, which would bring you to St Fechan's, the monastery and all. You have the 7 Wonders, and you have all that over in 4, and then you go on over by Loch Bawn, which is a big lake and lovely scenic area as well. So that brings you around. There's a lot of little by roads then, and you hit back down by Loch Bawn. It's another lake that's there as well. So that's you're fairly tired at that stage here then. And
You'll hit the wall. Do you hit
we
the
have
wall
loads
on
of,
a long
We have
walk?
loads of physios that come, physiotherapists,
Now
that all donate their time as well, free,
Right,
and
okay,
they set
now
up
tell
their
me about what's
tables.
happening on the walk. It's all fair and saying a great walk, but you have to be safety conscious and you know, direct, but you have to have it stewarded.
Oh, yeah,
You're
it
going
is
to
all
have the civil
stewarded, yeah.
defence is going to be in attendance as well,
Yeah.
in case
That's
of
right,
any
yeah.
accidents.
Well, as
Tell me all
regards
of
the
that. That's
stewards
the
and
bit I want
that,
to
you
know.
have all the GAA clubs. You have Mount Hugent, you have Ballynacree, you have Oldcastle. You see, we have different people breaks up. We've got 24 people in the committee, and then different people takes on different roles. So one person steps forward and say, well, right, I'll look after the student. So he goes off and he gets all the surrounding clubs, Collinstown, Castlepollard, all them different people. They all join in and they do that role. That's their role, and they finish doing that role. Then somebody else comes along, like Joan here would say, for the food. Joan takes on that. She goes off and gets her group of people together, sort out that.
It sounds like a really big organisation.
It is, it's massive, there's no doubt about it.
Do you
There's a
find
lot
it
of
as
work into
you've done some 12, 13, 14 now, this is maybe, like, is it getting easier every year, or is the fact that it's getting bigger, it needs more more organisation?
It's definitely getting bigger,
But,
and the bigger the better, because to highlight the fundraising that cancer needs, I'm sure you know yourself, within the County Cavan as well, like, you know. But the more people that come, the more that money is going straight towards cancer. And 80% of the funds, I think, goes straight directly to the Irish Cancer Society, and the other 20% go to what's known as the Lark Centre over Multifarnham. And with directly from the funds that we've raised in the last few years, they've built an extra room onto the daycare centre over there, like, you know, and that's actually come from their funds.
When you say the Irish Cancer Society, that's actually looking after people. It's not going into research, the money.
Well, they decide where it's going. Some of it goes to research, some of it goes to cancer care. It's really up to them. Yeah. It's up to the Cancer Society. They kind of decide, And then the Lark is a local cancer care service as well, that a lot of local people attend, and they have physiotherapy. They have everything in it for people that maybe on the day when they're in Dublin having their treatment, there's a lot of medical ends in Dublin, whereas you can come back down to the Lark and they go through the nitty-gritty slowly with you.
That's
and
good.
they
so
do.
if anybody wants care like that, they just
you just pop
Lark.
in. You just pop into Lark, and there's somebody there, counsellors. There's everything there. It's
and
brilliant.
Is that free to the people?
That's free to all the people.
And that's sponsored through the Irish Cancer Society.
Well, it will. Yes, yeah. Well, they're funded, I think, a certain amount through the Irish Cancer, through the government, and then everything else. Then I think they're voluntary, looking for money too. You know.
Okay, you have a very special story to tell us about. I know you've been touched by cancer, and we're sorry to hear about your mum. But you have a special story about it, and actually you've got your mum's memorial cup. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, basically when the walk when it came to Moyla first in 2012, I actually hadn't heard about it, so I hadn't. And the next thing was, Mum was alive at the time, and she goes, "Come on, we'll go and do a bit of the 50-mile walk." And I said, 50 mile? You must be crazy. She goes, well, she was with cancer at the time, and she goes, well, we'll do what we can of it. So we arrived over, and it turned out that the whole walk was in aid of the Irish Cancer Society and for the Lark Foundation. I said, yeah, no problem, should we do a few miles of it anyways? So we raised up our money, gave the money in, and we walked. I'll have to admit, we walked 3 miles. We went off the official route and came back to the car. But that was the last event I was ever at with my mother, and then she passed away the February afterwards. But I returned the year after, and I did the full run, and I completed it in under 10 hours.
Notice, folks, he said run.
Run, yeah.
Joan tells me that he ran the 50 miles, not his.
I know, I ran the 50 miles that year.
In what time?
In around 10-hour mark. So it was. But now I just was out there on my own. I was in my own headspace, and that's just what I needed. It was mentioned before about the Camino de Santiago.
Yeah, we were talking about the Camino and the fact that they might do St. Patrick's Way in Ireland. That's amazing
Yeah,
stuff. And I think that would be brilliant.
It'd be brilliant for tourism. Brilliant for tourism, but people don't need. Well, in my view, I don't think they need the Camino de Santiago to go out on this 50-mile challenge if they've been touched by cancer or any other illness, or just need a bit of headspace.
You found it helped you?
Oh, big time.
It blew
big
your
time.
head. It cleared your head, I should say.
Cleared my head from the blowness. Big time. And
so it was your own Camino, really, in a way.
Yeah, in my own Camino, and with that, I got the idea of with people who were raising money, and I says, how could we get people to raise actually more money and acknowledge that? So I had an idea, and I put it to the committee. I'll put up a memorial trophy in honour of my mum. So every year, the person that raises the most money will get the Sarah Fitzsimons Memorial Trophy.
So that's out there, serial charity fundraisers, the Sarah
Fitzsimons Memorial Trophy.
So you get to keep that for a year if you raise the most money.
That's right, yeah.
Now, fantastic. Now, you want to introduce the fun element of it.
I just wanted to say that there was 2 more people, very special people, that we have to just to say a little word about, that was involved in it, that we have lost in the last year as well. We've lost Olivia, Joan's sister-in-law. And she was actually one of the last persons, when I was finishing up the walk last year, she came along and she was able to hand me out a bottle of water out the window. And you know what I mean, she was on the service as going round in the cars. And we had Anna Francis, she's John McDonald's wife, Lord be good to her. She passed away just a couple of weeks after the walk. She actually stayed with us until the walk was over, and I believe that they were able to take her up in a chair to look out the window to see us pass them. And it was actually very good. So there's 3 people that we actually, it sticks in our mind when we go back
in our parish.
In our parish, in a very close-knit parish.
Nice to have those,
so but every parish has stories like that. And when you're actually walking on like I found last year when I walked, when I got tired, you just catch up with somebody else and you start talking to them, and everyone talks like, you all.
So it is a spiritual thing.
It is,
a communal
and it brings
thing.
everyone on, because you'll tell me your story, and I'll tell you my story.
Yeah.
And it just keeps you walking,
Fantastic.
And you forget about the blisters and you forget about you're tired. And as well as that, you kind of feel, well, I'm healthy. And that's what keeps you going.
Yeah, today I'm good. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have, you sent us in a video of it, and we're going to see some of the video. And it's going to come up on the screen right now. Yep, we do have the video. We're going to go to it, Dave, aren't we? Okay, Joan, you want to get across the point of the feeling, the spirit of the thing on the day, and Noel, you were calling it the electric feeling. About, come on, tell us about that. Because
well, I just said while we were looking at the pictures, I just said, you know, if you could actually bottle the atmosphere, you know, we would be definitely giving the Cancer Society €1 million. You know, it's you can't explain to somebody until you actually walk it. The first year I walked it in 15 hours, and I didn't get to finish it the second year. I got 43 miles, and I just had too many blisters. And then last year it took me 17 hours to do the same route. But I so enjoyed last year because I just talked to everybody. I drank tea at everyone's house. I had chat with people. There was little kids out, hey, here, come over here, have some oranges. And I mean, at that stage you thought, oh my God, another orange. Yeah. But it was just electric, was electric, you know, it was brilliant.
It's taking in the whole atmosphere of the area, of the people and the energy behind them, the positive energy, positive atmosphere, and it's just, it'll get you across the line at the end, like, you know.
And you want as well, Noel, you want to bring in the point, you want, it's a fun element, there's no pressure, it's not a race.
It's not a race, there's no one timing you.
There's no one timing,
it's
everybody in their own
on,
time.
you know, from say around this time now on, you're going to have, that's the local talk in that area is, are you doing the 50 mile, are you doing the 50 mile? Then everybody will be out, they'll be seen doing the signs, they'll be putting up signs on that, everybody will be saying, can I help you, and all that.
Everybody wants to get involved.
Then when it comes closer
they want to get
to
involved.
the night,
I think we're able to throw up the picture of the route. I know you spoke us through it there earlier on, but we'll just flash it up on the screen now, the actual route. And so people can pick up this leaflet. It's the Mile at JFK 50 Mile Challenge, and on the back of it is the route there, and that's taken in a bit of Cavan and Meath.
And Westmeath.
Westmeath. Okay. And we've some more pictures. Look at this. Talk us through that there now.
Well, that's Mullameen Forest. It's Europe's most natural, largest beach forest.
Are we going through that?
Yep.
Yes,
only for 5 kilometres. Only for 5 kilometres.
Only for 5 kilometres.
Yeah. So and the route is fully marked as well, so you can't get lost.
That's Joan there.
Yeah, it is.
That's Joan, and Mary Girk. She was one of the founding members that brought back the idea.
There's the member there.
Yeah, Johnny. That's her husband, Johnny. They would have brought it back in 2012, and it was their kind of brainchild that started off the whole thing.
They remembered it from America. They heard of it out there, and they brought it. Brilliant idea, isn't it?
And
so that's the America to JFK.
That's
connection.
Right. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Great stuff. Well done.
Yeah. They would have brought it from
just tell me a few things about the walk. Now we'll see the pictures going through there. On the day there is supervised parking. You've got stewards doing parking of cars.
Yeah, and they'll be there to mind the cars all day. Yeah.
There to mind the cars.
You have to be over 16.
The routes, you won't get lost because it's signposted. It's a bit like the Camino where you're saying you'll have JFK challenge all the way through it. You can't get lost. Noel, you wanted to get the point across that you have to be 16 and over. It's best not to bring an animal, not just for safety, but an animal, you know, the poor little dog will be walked to pieces by the time
no doubt about it. I know it's the right thing not to bring an animal. For cruelty reasons, you don't bring the animal, and you have to make an animal yourself to do it.
You have a time, and everybody will get their time there as well, I say.
And then you have your cherished cert at the end. You get a certificate at the end of certificate of completion or certificate of taking part. You have the 2 certs as well.
Correct. Here the folks going through.
That's actually coming up Loch Crew. That's the highest point in Meath.
Oh, right. That's a bit of a hill there.
But like that, it's only 3 mile into it, so it's over nice and early.
Okay.
So it is.
Now, Eamon, you very kindly said that if anybody wants to get a good training sort of a program going, that they can. How could they get it?
Yeah,
you can do it for them.
Yeah, I can do up. We can do it up for it. I'm a fitness professional as well. Or they can get on to the Facebook page and give the Facebook page a message, and we'll get back to them straight away. So any type of fitness, any type of fitness.
You're helping with every angle, really.
Oh, true. Yeah. All we want to do is get people out, highlight the need for the funding, and just get people out and walking on the day.
Yeah, get them to raise their money, and you will look after everybody and anybody on the day.
Yeah, we'll put up everyone.
So you raised what again last year, Joan?
162,000.
And you want, now folks, they want to better that
sorry.
this year.
Yeah.
So you want as many people, and more than 50 years, but at least, 50 years to start.
Absolutely,
and away you go. For a fantastic challenge as well.
Yes,
to do it for yourself even.
We do actually organise sometimes before the walk, we do quiz nights, a few quiz nights to get the funding and rolling.
Have you one
tonight?
We've actually
a quiz night in Old Castle tonight, yes.
So you have to fly back now, full of knowledge from Cavan TV. Well, is there anything else now you'd like to say before we go? Do you want to mention one last thing? Just don't want to leave out there.
We have actually a very famous priest in Moyle as well, the singing priest. You probably know, had Father Ray Kelly. He's the singing priest in Moyle, and we do a blessing of the graves, the day after the walk. And I well believe that he thinks that he's in Lourdes when he sees us coming in, because we're all going in and being crippled.
We're all coming limp in it.
Okay, have you any tips now for what people want to bring on the day? Because 50 miles is a long way, and you'll get hot and cold. Any tips on what to bring?
Well, I bring just in a little backpack. I always have a tiny bar. Okay, even though you get them on the route, but maybe you could be just walking and maybe you fancy one now, and it could be there's water on the route, so you don't actually have to bring your own water. And I bring a couple of pairs of clean socks, and I change every 10 or 15 miles. I would change my socks, just little light socks, and change the runners, or not change the runners, just change the socks back on the runners. If you have someone that'll meet you with another pair of runners, well and good, but the socks is important.
Yeah, your socks, and if you can get those seamless socks, they seem to have somewhere.
But someone said the 50, you can get them in Elverly Sports. They're the 50-mile socks, are they? Yeah. Something like that. That they're good. But 1,000-mile socks, sorry. But the ones in pennies, are the very same. They're the very same. You know. So.
Any other tips?
One thing I want to say, Áine, before we go is, I'd like to thank everybody in Westmeath, Meath, and Cavan. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody, we can't thank everybody personally, but it's, we'll see it in a county-wise, Cavan, Meath and Westmeath.
Without them it wouldn't be possible.
Gratefully for what they're doing. They're doing brilliant.
Okay, folks, that our biggest audience is the diaspora, the people, Cavan people and all over Ireland looking abroad, and they look in to see the programme. So if you have any natives from your town, like up there in Moyle, and they're looking in and they see this, can they sponsor, can they help?
Oh, they can, yeah. They can log on to mycharity.ie if you're away.
Yeah. And folks out there, if anybody like to go on, talk to the folk out there.
Just if anyone does want, if anyone is away and wants to sponsor, you can just log on to mycharity.ie and send some money over. Euros, dollars, it doesn't matter. We take all.
Okay, so well done, folks. Brilliant stuff. Great to hear about that. You've told us about how spiritual it is on the day and how well the people are all looked after.
And you're going to join us this year, Áine, so you'll be able to tell us next year.
They're going to make me do it. Great stuff. Looking forward to it, and I hope you get over the 62.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be great.
That's great.
Well done, folks. Thanks so much for coming in and talking to us, and we'll see you on the
Thanks a million.
We're going to go to a quick break, but please do come back because we've got more.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic, you can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands. Cavan Crystal.
Hello, y'all. Hello, y'all. This is Prince Mike. You watch on Cavan TV. Catch ya!
welcome back. You're watching Cavan TV's News and Views. Well, I've come to the end of this week's programme, and I'd like to say thanks to my guests in the studio, to Éamon Fitzsimons, to Noel Connell, and to Joan's name, I can't think of it at the moment. Thanks very much for coming in and telling us all about the JFK Challenge, the 50-mile challenge. That's on the 6th of June. Now, we're still on the fitness theme, and last week we went out and saw Cavan's first night run, and I got to interview some of the people who've done the run, and I interviewed Peter Walsh, who's the guy that organised Cavan's first night run.
It's a great event here in Cavan. It's fantastic to see such a crowd out enjoying themselves, and that's what really it's all about. You know, look at everybody smiling.
Different generations running, mothers, daughters, fathers, sons.
Absolutely, and that's what's lovely about an event like this, because it's a real family affair, and the family that runs together has fun together. You know, it's a great way to go.
Yeah.
I know that for
and
sure.
Also as well, Evelyn, it's great for buses for palliative care in Monaghan, Cavan, palliative care, and St Vincent de Paul.
And extremely worthy, both all the causes. Like, it's fantastic, and I hope they really do get a good bit of money out of this. You know, because it's great. And fair dues to Sandra McCormick and the other girls that got themselves together to organise such a super event.
Great organisation tonight.
Oh, very good, very good. And it's a good course, you know, it's an interesting course. And it's lovely to run in the streets. Few too many cars, but other than that, we were fine.
I'd say, Evelyn, this could be the start of a few more.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a good few that go now. I mean, the Darkness into Light will be coming up now in the springtime. That's another lovely event, again, for a very worthy cause. So there are a few going on, so they're great fun. You know, it's good to see.
Thank you, Evelyn, and the best of luck to Clodagh tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a nice evening.
It was a breeze for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
It was a nice course, though. Nice evening, good evening, good
nice
run.
evening, good run. It was a fun run to do.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah.
It's a good run. Well done.
Okay.
Thanks. Well done, thanks. A great success, Joey. Brilliant night. How many runners had you tonight?
I had just to go check the complete data, but I think nearly 700.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so.
A great night, though. I mean, as in weather-wise.
Yes, and as you can see, they're looking around there. The atmosphere is great, and everyone's relaxed, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So that's the main thing.
There were young people running in the race.
Yeah, as you say.
The youngest was about 7 or 8, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, so running itself, you know, it caters for all ages. So I've seen people pushing buggies so the babies can come out up to 80, you know, so.
Yeah, we see that tonight. Great family occasion.
Yeah,
who was your winner? Can you kind of give us the list of the winners?
The winner, the male, was Killian Hare. He's a local lad there from Bailiver. I just haven't caught who the first female is, but I was just seeing her coming across the line. She ran a fantastic time, so times are very quick, but it's very conducive to fast times with the course and the weather and no wind and rain, so it's all good.
Well, fantastic. Well done, Joey. Brilliant night. Well done.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to another one.
Yes, next year. Thank you, dear.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic? You can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
Hello, y'all. Hello, y'all. This is Prince Mike. You watch on Cavan TV. Catch ya!
And welcome back, and it's Friday evening, so you're watching Cavan TV's News and Views. Now, that last video clip you saw there of the night run, I was speaking to Evelyn O'Reilly and her son, and they are of the famous Cavan Fitness family, the O'Reillys. And also there I was speaking to Peter Walsh, who was the organiser of the night run, and also Peter is the trainer at Killigarry Running Club, and everybody goes out there on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturday morning. So well done to all there. It seems he has everybody in Cavan off the couch and running. Well, now folks, I have a surprise for you, because it's a surprise for me as well. In the studio I have Fiona Stewart-Williams. Fiona, thank you so much for popping down to see us in Cavan TV's studio. Fiona, you're from Randallstown in County Antrim, and you are a spiritualist medium. I love talking about things like that. I know what a medium is, but a spiritualist medium. Please go and explain to me.
Well, there's you have your natural mediums and your natural psychics and what have you, but it is part of my religion as well as a spiritualist. So it's not just a case of this is something that I do. It's my way of life, and it's not just a religion. It's a science. So there's a science behind everything that I do, and a philosophy as well. So it's interesting.
I'll just let you know, folks, that Fiona is actually here in Cavan Crystal Hotel tonight. She's got her programme here this evening, but we'll talk about that later. To get back to a medium is somebody who gives do you give a message from people past?
Absolutely. As a medium is a go-between. You've got it's a conduit, and I'm a conduit. Absolutely, a channel, a conduit between the two worlds, and linking those from, I call it upstairs, and those that are here that are missing our loved ones, that have now gone to a different stage of life and a different state of being. So yes, our friends upstairs certainly do wish to connect with this, and they probably connect with this without even us knowing at times.
Well, when they do connect, is it they know you're distressed about something and they just want to let you know they're okay, or do they actually they don't tell you something that's going to happen? They don't warn you. What is it? What are they trying to? Why would they want to connect with you?
Well, you made a point that is there something going on in your life that you need a little bit of help with, or that you might have concerns about. And yes, our loved ones from upstairs, just as they would when they were living, would want to connect with you. They would want to be with you. And also, it's not about the sad stuff. What about the joyous stuff? Yeah. What about like weddings? They're great fun, great crack. You know, who wants to miss a wedding? You know, so our loved ones will want to be around us in our joyful days as well. You know, so yeah.
So you obviously believe that when you pass on, your spirit or your soul, whatever it is, it's still here. That energy is still here. Is that what you really believe?
Our energy, you're saying still here, in a different way. Yeah. Absolutely. And you look at the laws of physics. Energy can't be. It can be changed, but you can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
you can't get rid of it. So it's just a different state of being, really.
And that is a fact. A fact in physics. Energy is changed. It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't disappear.
And we're energy.
Okay. Now I just wanted to say the little thing I like to say to you, and I'm not, been.
Not at all, go ahead.
I couldn't get the word out there, but I'm just trying to say, do you not sometimes feel that it's people who are searching for something, maybe people that are a little vulnerable, and they're going to you to look for something that's missing in your life, that's missing in their life, and they expect you to give this answer, that they're vulnerable people, and that you have to be somewhat careful with what you do, how you deal with people like that.
Absolutely. Well, when we connect to the spirit world, The spirit world never tell you your future. That's not how it works. Unless your, for instance, your grandparents or your brothers or your sisters or your next door neighbour, but one, those that are in the spirit world, are psychics, or fortune tellers. They're not going to tell you your future. Who we are when we are here now are going to be who we are when we're in the spirit world. It's as simple as that. So if individuals that are seeking for something more than the comfort and the knowledge that their loved ones are okay, then they're looking for a different type of reading, really.
Is that why people go to you? Well, I say people
come to me for
predominantly females.
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
No, and surprisingly,
dispel the myths.
There's a lot of men. I've read for a lot of men. Isn't that great?
That's good.
There isn't more women than males at all, and they all come for different reasons. Now, there is a huge difference between being a psychic and a spiritualist medium. A psychic is someone who is able to see into the past, into the present situations, and are able to see in the possibilities of futuristic outcomes for an individual. That is where we talk about psychicism. And
good explanations. I'm glad you're getting good explanations so that people understand these things out there.
So psychic it actually comes from the Greek word soul. So when you're going for a psychic reading, it is about you, the individual, your life, what the possibilities might come about, etc. When you come from a mediumistic reading, connections into the spirit world, it is all about your loved ones upstairs. All about them. Has to be evidential, has to be proof of soul survival after physical death.
Okay, you said that it's also your religion.
Yes.
Explain that.
Well, I'm a spiritualist medium. Spiritualists have been over 150 years now. It's just the way of being for me at this moment in time.
When did you first knew that you had got this special gift? Is it the seventh sense? Is it a sense that you have and you tuned into it, honed into it, and made it better for yourself? That we all have a little bit of it, but we just don't hone into it.
Absolutely, and we all have the ability to connect to the spirit world. After all, what we are inside is the spirit, isn't it? It's who we are in a meat suit.
Sometimes in life, what we're all searching is to find, spiritually to find the thing that makes us all to be the way we want to be all the time, isn't it? We're always searching. I think everybody I've ever been speaking to, they're always searching. We want to know something, and this is the things we want to know. We want to know what's in us and why we're here.
Do you know
our
what?
Purpose.
Yeah, or soul journey, or what we're supposed to be doing here. And there's so many different philosophies out there as well, which can be a bit mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I'm tripping myself over them now.
Yeah.
Have we just one life? Is there reincarnation?
I don't know.
But if you say our loved ones are up there, they haven't come back, we're going to be there one day. So there's no second time around.
You know, there are so many books about the soul. So many wonderful philosophers have written about the soul. You know what? They're not going to know until they go upstairs and check it out themselves. So I'm not going to say no, that there's no such thing as reincarnation. I don't know.
Okay, what about karma?
Well, I don't know about that either.
Okay, law of attraction.
I do believe that. I do believe what we put out there, we get back. Energy does attract. There's magnetism in what we create and what we want to create. But again, that has to do also about our own will and about what we want in our lives. And whenever you think about, we're looking at The Secret and that book, which is absolutely fabulous. It's been no secret to me, to be truthful. However, if we're really wanting something, we are looking at the goals and how to achieve it and how to get that. And a lot of those things, we're looking for happiness. Happiness doesn't come in a store, it doesn't come in a box. You don't go out and buy it, you find it within. And really it is about looking and knowing about yourself to bring about that sense of balance and happiness. It's not always about wealth.
Louisa May Alcott says the secret is within.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so all our answers are within us.
Yeah.
But we're still searching.
Absolutely. Because maybe we're searching in the wrong places, and maybe what we're looking for we don't need. That's really deep, isn't it?
We're getting
very deep for a Friday evening.
And there's fun as well. Is there fun? You said spirits want to go to the weddings.
Of course. Sometimes I am, as you know, that I'm upstairs, not upstairs in the spirit world, but I'm upstairs in one of the rooms in a hotel in Cavan.
Here tonight. Maybe I can run up after us and check you out.
Oh, you could do. That would be fun. See me in action.
Yeah.
Give it a bit of that. But it's when we connect to those upstairs, it is joyful. After all their pain and all their anguish and everything that has to do with the earthly life, which can be hard, is no longer there for them.
Yeah. Now, what do you say to people who are chancers and they're out there reading palms, doing tarots, doing things like that for the money, whatever, cashing in on people's vulnerability? What do you say to people like that?
I think that...
And there are people like that out there.
Yeah, I believe that people are incredibly, people are smart. And, I believe that if you're out there just for the money and you don't have the particular gift sets that you require for this type of work, you get found out. And then you don't make the money, do you? Because everybody then finds out that you're not very good. Do you follow what I'm saying,
I do, yeah.
So most of my clientele, as much as advertising is fantastic, but most of my clientele are by word of mouth.
Okay.
You know?
Now, do you have kind of like an inner circle, a secret circle that you
secret
really know?
Squirrels, too secret to be talked about.
That like an inner circle that you all know each other intuitively yourselves, like, whatever, like.
I've got friends, yeah.
Magicians all have this circle and they go together and they discuss their stuff.
Sadly not. Do you know of one? I would like to join. I wouldn't mind being part of a secret group. It would be great.
I don't mean secret, but like a society that you go to yourselves and you meet and greet and talk and that kind of thing.
Oh, well, I go to my churches, yeah. But it's not quite like that.
You weren't going to tell me anyway, were you? No, I don't believe
there isn't one. Okay.
There isn't
one,
so
sadly.
You're just yourself out there and you're doing the story. And I know by looking at you and talking for you here, now I'm doing a bit of intuitive stuff. You like to make people happy.
Yeah.
You want people to be happy.
I do. There's nothing worse than being miserable.
Mm. You tell them that it comes from within.
Absolutely, it does.
Okay.
It has been an absolute thrill.
Fantastic talking to you. Great surprise folk on Cavan TV News this evening. I'm speaking to Fiona Stewart-Williams from Randalstown in County Antrim. She is a spiritualist medium and she's in Cavan Crystal tonight. Now, if you didn't catch Fiona tonight, maybe you'll catch her sometime around Ireland. Do you want to throw out some dates there to the camera, Fiona?
Well, actually, I'm going to be in the north on the 17th of April. And I think I'm back down in the south in Cork in June. So... I'm hopefully be back in Cavan in the next couple of months.
Okay. Well done,
Thank
Fiona.
you.
Thank you so much. It was great. It was lovely talking to you. You made me feel happy already. It was thank you so much,
My pleasure.
Fiona Stewart-Williams. Just stay there till we go to the end of the programme. That's it for this week's programme. Good evening from me in Cavan TV's News and Views. Next week is Good Friday. We will be on the air, so do log in to see us. And we'd like to say good evening and hello out there to all the people who watch us abroad. So that's it from Cavan TV News and Views. It's the weekend and do take care.